everyone, I'm your host Heather Dawson and welcome to RC Spotlight, an exciting program highlighting businesses here in Rancho Cucamonga. Just another reason to work, play, and live in our beautiful city. The force is strong here in Rancho Cucamonga after the city partnered up with Victoria Gardens to host a Star Wars Day that brought in fans from far, far away. Here's Jason Risudlo.
Darth Vader and a lightsaber duel. No, it's not May the 4th, but it is Star Wars Reads Day here at the Bain Library. Hollywood actor Billy D. Williams from the Star Wars franchise made a special appearance at the event.
A lot of lightsabers, a lot of force, and I like these stuff.
The special event was held over Memorial Day weekend, close to the release date of the very first Star Wars film, which happened on May 25th.
So it really is an outreach for people who might not come to a conventional story time, just to know the library's here, here's what we do, here's what we offer, come on in.
There was a costume contest for the little ones and the older kids as well. Attendees dressed as their favorite Star Wars characters.
Oh, I just got some fabric from Hobby Lobby and just kind of made it all myself, handmade. So yeah, just kind of I winged it on what my character is. Yeah.
What's your character?
I'm not even 100% certain yet. I've got the red and blue lightsaber double-bladed, so I'm still kind of working on my backstory.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about for you?
I honestly just took some of my mom's stuff and just pieced it all together. Yeah, he's supposed to be my Jedi Master and I'm supposed to be his Padawan, so he teaches me stuff.
And we want to get reluctant readers, particularly that can sometimes be boys between the ages of 7 to 10. They might not come to a library to see me read a story. They will come to a library to hear Darth Vader read a story. And once they're in the library, they will see all the Star Wars books we have.
Author Ian Dorsher talked about his best-selling book, William Shakespeare's Star Wars. He also took questions from the audience.
I get a lot of autographs from them, and I get to show that I love Star Wars a lot.
So we're a costuming group and a charity organization. So we bring the characters out in our costumes and we help raise money for various causes. Today we're here for the Paul Bain Library and their Star Wars Reads Day. So trying to bring a lot of characters here, drum up business for the library and help them get some books in the hands of kids.
So you visit all the different stations, the craft stations, the vendor booths, the story time areas, the shows, and if you do that and get that all filled up, you get a free Star Wars book. So you go home with something to read.
The Inland Empire Lego User Group brought its Star Wars display to the lobby of the library. Here's their founder, Susie Lepner.
Today I brought the Ewok Village, which is a set from Lego. It's really cool. It's got a lot of really cool stuff. It's got this really neat bridge right here. And it's got these turrets that turn. Here's a C-3PO sitting on a throne over here. We have R2-D2. Over here is Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia.
So this is an X-Wing pilot from the first movie, and it goes with my car that's parked down at the end of the street, which is also an X-Wing flavored art car.
The evening wrapped up with the screening of Star Wars The Force Awakens, the latest movie of the franchise.
We've got our summer reading program. That's going to go on until the end of July. Win prizes, performers, magicians, jugglers, all kinds of great acts all summer long. We also have cultural arts nights coming up all summer long. We just do a ton of stuff.
The event was produced in association with May the 4th Be With You. Reporting for RC Spotlight, I'm Jason Risudlo.
And attention all coffee gurus, Rancho Cucamonga's very own Clutch Coffee is home to the best coffee brewer in the nation and quite possibly the world. Here's Maddie Perry.
The best coffee brewer in the United States is located right here in Rancho Cucamonga and works for our very own Clutch Coffee, located on the corner of Foothill and Carnelian. Our local brewer, Todd Goldsworthy, is hoping to turn his national title into a global one by traveling to Dublin, Ireland to compete in the World Brewers Cup Challenge with the hopes of becoming the best brewer in the world.
So the World Brewers Cup it's a combination of just brewing manual brewed coffee for 3 judges. It brings together, we got 38 countries coming together in Dublin this year, and each country has 1 representative who gets to come and showcase a coffee, talk about it for 10 minutes, brew cups for 3 different judges, and give them the opportunity to experience the coffee, experience who I am, and everything I did to get this coffee to them, and in the end, a great cup of coffee.
It is very exciting to have Todd representing Klatch in the World Brewers Championship because he's not just representing Klatch but the United States, and so we're so excited that he's part of our team. We're excited to team up with him and help him go as far as he can.
Goldsworthy had to compete and conquer several national competitions in order to be considered at the global level. While in Dublin, champions from each country will gather and brew a series of drinks in front of a panel of judges.
So while I'm there, I'll go through 2 different challenges. The first one is called the compulsory, which is a blind round, where when I arrive, I will be given a 12-ounce bag of coffee, and I will have only that 12-ounce bag of coffee to figure out the best way to brew it in what kind of brewing device, whatever kind of recipe I want, and be able to brew that blindly for 3 judges. The judges are actually behind a wall, so they don't get to see me, they don't get to see anything I do, so it's really all about what the coffee tastes like. And they'll score it on a 100-point scale and determine from there which of the brewers kind of brew a coffee the best. And then from that round, after that, a couple hours later actually, it's only actually about an hour and a half after I do that, I get to present a coffee. So I brought a coffee with me to Dublin. That coffee I'll get to spend 10 minutes talking about and brewing for the judges, which is the coffee I'm going to brew for you here today.
After tasting Goldsworthy's signature blend, I knew that there really was something special about the way he brews his coffee. I asked him to give our viewers the inside scoop on how he crafts his drinks, and this is what he said.
So it's really just all about the details. So for me, it's every variable along the way I like to have control over and find what's going to be best for each coffee. So for this coffee in particular, I blended my own water. So I take distilled water, add some minerals to it, get it up to, for this one, it's for the coffee geeks out there, it's 105 parts per million of minerals inside the water. I heat it up to the right temperature. For this coffee, I heat it up to about 200 degrees, and I brew with that. Having my recipe, this is 27 grams of coffee, 350 milliliters of water. So it's my water, heated right, using the grinder I like, which is a conical burr grinder. So there's 2 different kinds. Commercial ones are flat burrs. Most home ones are actually conical burrs, and I prefer the conical burrs because they give me more complexity, a lot more flavor happening out of the cups, and so I really enjoy that out of the coffees.
So head on over to Rancho Cucamonga's Klatch Coffee to taste coffee brewed by the best the United States has to offer, listen to the city's talented during their open mic night events, and feel a sense of warmth as members of the community gather to enjoy good drinks and good times.
So the Rancho Cucamonga Coffee Klatch is my personal favorite. It's our original location. We've been here in the Thomas Winery for 23 years. So we've seen lots of up and downs in the neighborhood and the community, but we've always been here kind of as a staple. So it's been great to see Rancho Cucamonga change in the last 23 years. But it's great because it's also a very local community. So we've literally seen babies grow up and graduate high school. We have customers that have been coming since I was a 10-year-old girl in here and have seen me grow my family. So it's fun to be here and part of this location.
To connect with Klatch or gather more information, visit their website at www.klatchroasting.com. Thanks for watching RC Spotlight, and tune in next time for more of our city's finest.
If you've driven along Foothill Boulevard, also known as Route 66, you may have noticed the historic Cucamonga service station. It's an important link to the city's past, and the Route 66 IECA has recognized the importance of balancing the preservation of the past and the forward growth-based thinking of the future. Route 66 IECA President Anthony Gonzalez gives us a better look. Marco Gutierrez has more.
The Route 66 IECA has recognized the importance of balancing the preservation of the past with the forward growth-based thinking of the future. Route 66 IECA President Anthony Gonzalez gives us a closer look.
Well, the service station was, again, the focal point here in Cucamonga at the time. This was a predominantly agrarian area, groves and vineyards, and this was a source where the community was able to get their petroleum products, their gasoline, their diesel, their kerosene, their smudge pot oil, and so on. All the products that were used in order to produce the fruits, vegetables, grapes that were produced here in that area during that particular time. So this was the only gas station during that period of time. The other gas station closest to this one, I believe, was down in Ontario. The station had the opportunity to be here before everyone else. As time went on, as the years went on, more and more gas stations started to pop up. But as you can see in the architectural, the structure of the building, its early California Mission Revival motif, that was unique here. That was very unique, and so drivers were drawn to this particular gas station because, again, it was so unique. As years went on, the other gas stations didn't have the following, didn't have the popularity that this particular station did. That's why it's been able to last so long, because everybody remembers the Ridgefield service station.
Many visitors seek out refurbished roadside buildings and generally build an interest in the Route 66 service station. So, Route 66 IECA efforts fall in line with the belief that saving some of the artifacts is not just of general interest, but a collective responsibility to save this part of history so it can be remembered and enjoyed by future generations.
The community at large has opened its arms out and embraced this service station as theirs. Cucamonganites that have lived here all their lives and live here now. This is now recognized by them as their station. That's important. We all want to know that we've been somewhere and we have something that represents who we are as a community, as a city. And the service station is one of many here in Rancho Cucamonga. When you come onto the property, when you pick up a shovel, when you pick up a hammer, when you pick up a paintbrush, when you pick up a broom, you can go back to your heirs and you can say, see that gas station right there on the corner of Archibald and Foothill? Your grandfather, your dad, your uncle, your brother, there are reasons they were a part of it being in existence today. And the individuals that came on board, that was part of the reason for why they participated in restoring the facility. A gentleman here that lives in Rancho Cucamonga, his name is Albert Gutierrez. And Mr. Gutierrez, back in 2000, tried to buy the service station. And after several attempts to settle on a price for the service station, he finally just gave up and let it go. Well, he decided, I'll go back and I'll build my own.
Route 66, I've always loved Route 66. And, you know, the old gas stations, that's just something that I can always admire. And seeing the gas station on Route 66, some of them that were there, and then little by little they would just disappear. The one that's behind me now, that gas station is the one located on the corner of Archibald and Foothill. I'm just glad to see that now that the organization, the Route 66 organization, got behind it. You know, you hear stories that, oh yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I used to stop there with my dad or my grandfather, or we used to stop and get gas there. You know, things like that, that brings back memories, you know, and just to have that memory, you know, that's really valuable to a lot of people.
That's one of the reasons why this organization and the community is supporting us, to make sure that those memories are never lost to anyone. Now that we've completed the restoration of the service station and we're now open to the public, our next objective is to restore the garage that sat on the northern portion of the property. Mr. Gutierrez has agreed to donate a 1932 Model A vehicle. We're going to put that vehicle within the garage to show that that's what the mechanic was working on at the time.
The new restorations will house a meeting and event facility, where organizations will be able to rent the facility as it continues to provide service for Rancho Cucamonga.
Well, what better way to build a strong community than to build a strong city? And the city of Rancho Cucamonga is doing just that with their plans to bring more diversity and business, which in turn will grow a better economy for the area.
what better way to build a strong community than to build a strong city? And the city of Rancho Cucamonga is doing just that with their plans to bring more diversity in business, which in turn will grow a better economy for the area.
City of Rancho Cucamonga is one of the best planned cities in the Inland Empire. It has been since its inception. And one of the things that has developed there has been a very diverse housing stock. You've got some moderate neighborhoods, you have some middle income neighborhoods, and you have some expensive neighborhoods. And that has drawn a labor force to the city, which really allows people to do practically any level of the type of work that comes about. Very, very important at the moment is the higher end piece of the puzzle. And the reason for that is that the Inland Empire has a lot of blue-collar jobs, it has a lot of population-serving jobs, but it does not have a really strong high end to its economy, where you have doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, scientific companies, that sort of thing. You can only do it if you have a labor force that can do those types of jobs. And Rancho is one of the few cities in the Inland Empire which has developed a strong base for that piece of their economy.
Meetings and plans are in place to achieve more diverse housing options that attract not only families, but young professionals, which will inevitably bring in business and perpetuate a stronger economy.
Rancho is one of the places where that started in the Inland Empire, and it's a place where that undoubtedly will be able to continue, because that millennials and Gen Ys are very, very important going forward in the economy. And that seems to be what's drawing them in terms of where they'd like to live.
And what does this demographic really want? Economy expert John Husing says condos are housing communities with amenities like offices on the premise, marble counters, gyms, and higher-end living spaces. Basically, features that will replicate a downtown urban living style with the benefits of living in a scenic place like Rancho.
The city, I think, already has that base. What they want to do is keep growing it, but a key part of that has to be having a labor force that can do the kind of high-end work that you can draw into the office market. And also, in addition to that, to have a good relationship between city operations and planning and the school systems, because you've got to turn out whether it's Cal State San Bernardino, the Claremont colleges nearby, the Chaffey College within the city, or the K through 12 system, you've got to be generating a labor force that companies will want to be near, both where their employees are going to want to live, but also so they can feed off that for their labor force.
The employment opportunities in Rancho Cucamonga are excellent at this time, and as such, we need a diverse housing base that contains an assortment of houses and a variety of models, not only for the first-time buyer, but as an employee of an industrial building in Rancho Cucamonga grows within the business or changes jobs. They want to be able to adjust their living by being able to purchase a different house in a different price level.
The progression of attracting a more diverse workforce has been going on since the inception and initial planning of the city of Rancho. The key to achieving it? Simple. Besides better housing options, a strong transportation system that Rancho has already accomplished with their local and Amtrak lines, and which allows residents to commute to places like LA or Orange County, and support from the community.
If you don't have a buy-in from the people who live someplace, you can't direct it out of City Hall and say, make it happen. It has to very much come out of a community that wants to see itself go in a particular direction. So the city council, the staff can attempt to be the leadership of it, but ultimately, if they're doing a good job of it, you will then have the involvement of the constituents in terms of making it happen. That combination is what leads to communities that are successful.
Bringing you the best of Rancho Cucamonga, I'm Conchetta DeLuca with RC Spotlight.
So do you want to know how to get a business license in Rancho Cucamonga? Well, the city has made it a lot easier to get one. Reporter Marco Gutierrez has more.
As a growing community, Rancho Cucamonga is a great place to do business. And over the years, the city has been simplifying the application process for both in-city and out-of-city businesses. We sat down with Minerva Gamboa to find out more. Minerva is the Business License Program Coordinator.
About a year ago, we started the online application, and that was open only to out-of-city applicants. We were still working on some changes for the forms to simplify them for the in-city applicants. So as currently about 2 months ago, we had the in-city applicants that were able to apply, but it's only for industrial or commercial business.
The online application process is a great choice and benefit for applicants looking to do business in Rancho Cucamonga.
For an applicant, it's time. A lot of them don't have the time to come in or even to send a representative because they're really busy to come in and apply for a business license, so they can do it out of the comfort of their computer. They apply for the application online. There's definitely been a change. We've had a lot more applicants applying online, especially like you mentioned, farmers market, and then you have craft shows. People that live Apple Valley, Arrowhead, further away, that like their business is traveling to craft shows. So there's definitely been a big rise in that because now they don't have to come in person.
Applicants can also come into City Hall for a quick turnaround and even get a business license the same day.
Rancho is a growing community. We get a lot of applicants who leave the city of Rancho and within a short time they come back because they always say there's no other city like Rancho. We make their process very easy, very simple. If you come in person, the process is definitely a lot faster. You come in person, you submit the application, we review it, we enter the information into our software, and then we send them over to the planning department so that they can get zoning approval. Once they submit the zoning approval, it comes back to business license. We collect the fee. We then have the applicant walk out with a business license certificate if the application has been approved. If they do it online, once again, they're doing it out of the comfort of their own home, but the process tends to take a little bit longer because we have to review the application once they submit it to us. If there's any information that's missing, we've got emails going back and forth until the process has been completed. Once the application is completed, they then get an email letting them know this is how much you owe. Once we accept the payment, then the following day they get a certificate in the mail. So online is a little bit more convenient as far as doing it out of the comfort of your own home, but if you do it in person, it can be a little bit faster. We always recommend that they call the business license department ahead of time to let us know what type of business they're thinking about opening so we can let them know what requirements will be needed for that type of business so that when they do come in person or they apply for their application online, they're more prepared and all the information is submitted at the same time. If somebody's applying for a business license that has to do with the retail wholesale of tangible items, they have to apply for a seller's permit, and that's done through the State Board of Equalization. And their information, both phone number and website, is on our website as well. The website is www.cityofrc.us. And the website is it's got a lot of useful information. Any information that they need, they can go on there and they find it. And we've also got websites and links and phone numbers to all of the other agencies of information that we currently require, like State Board of Equalization, County Clerk Recorder's Office, the Health Department. All of that information is also found on the website.
It's recommended you apply for your business license at least 2 weeks before you start operating your business. That's because it could take up to 4 days to process the application. Now, if you come in person, you could leave the same day with your business license. Just make sure you have all the information required. So don't forget to check the website for all that information. Reporting for RC Spotlight, I'm Marco Gutierrez.
Well, there is one team in Rancho Cucamonga that is making waves, the Quakes. They are a SoCal institution, and reporter Conchetta DeLuco has the scoop on what is coming up this season.
In the middle of baseball season, one team is hitting all the bases, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, a minor league baseball team and staple for sports and affordable family entertainment in the Rancho Cucamonga area.
They're part of the fabric within the community, but the reasons why, hopefully affordable family entertainment. You know, it's something that we work very hard on, you know, great customer service, the affordability for fans to be able to come out here, bring a family of 4 and not, you know, break the bank is something really neat. Obviously, you know, with our affiliation with the Los Angeles Dodgers, that's a big part of it as well, as, you know, kids are coming out here for autographs and a chance to see up-and-coming Dodgers. And, of course, with the proximity to LA, not only are we seeing future Dodgers, but we also get some of those rehabbing stars that are on their way back from injury to the big leagues, and it just makes it a great experience.
On the route to Major League Baseball, many players are recruited by teams like the Dodgers and work their way up through the minor league circuit. The Quakes are no different. The Quakes are a farm team of the Dodgers and a Class A advanced minor league team originally founded in 1966 in Lodi, California, before moving to Rancho in 1993, which is where they have called home ever since.
The system of minor league baseball is something that you have to really get in tune with to learn a lot about, you know, the Quakes and what have you. So, you know, those players are drafted by the Dodgers. They're all controlled by the Dodgers. The coaching staff is controlled by the Dodgers. And we're one of the stops along the way in the Dodgers system on the way to the big leagues. So while we're not, you know, right there on the door of the big leagues, we're not at the bottom either. We're kind of at the midway point, because there's rookie ball, there's low A, there's where the Quakes are, which is high A, double A, triple A, and then, of course, the Dodgers at the big league level. So we're kind of right there at that midway point, and usually that's something that the fans don't necessarily understand, is where are the Quakes in regards to, you know, how close are they to watching these guys to the big leagues? That's a pretty common question.
The Quakes currently call Lone Mark Field their home base, and it was there that they won their first championship in 21 years last season, and this season they seem to be on the same track.
Well, last year was our first championship in 21 years, so the people have been long waiting that little tidbit. So really neat that we were able to follow that up with a great first half of this current season. You know, we've had a lot of great winning streaks, and a lot of great Dodger rehabbers, and the team has been incredibly competitive. We're poised for one of, if probably not the best half in Quakes history of our 24 years of franchise history. So it's been a great first half, lots of winning, which is obviously great for the fans.
For tickets, visit www.rcquakes.com. Bringing you the best of Rancho Cucamonga, I'm Conchetta DeLuca with RC Spotlight.
Would you like to be featured in this year's Founders Day Parade? The City of Rancho Cucamonga is now accepting applications for parade entries for the city's Founders Day Community Parade on Saturday, November 12th at 9 a.m. Awards will be given to the group with the best spirit of the day in honor of this year's theme, celebrating fun and games. Businesses, schools, youth groups, and other organizations can enter for free by registering online at www.rcpark.com. But hurry, the deadline for applications is October 17th. For more information, contact the City of Rancho Cucamonga Community Services Department at 909-477-2760 or visit rcpark.com. And that wraps up this edition of RC Spotlight, where we showcase how to live, work, and play in Rancho Cucamonga. If you tuned in late, don't worry. You can watch RC Spotlight on Channel 3 at 9 in the morning and 6 p.m. every day except for Wednesday, or you can catch us online. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.